Hi, it's so good to be with you today. So, I'm really excited to talk about what we're talking about today because it's like I like when things all come together. Like I get messages from different places and they're all saying the same thing. That to me satisfies me more than almost anything. Hey, Jennifer Faye. Hey, Karen Casey, Pierre. Good to be with you guys today. So like what I teach can seem to be fairly woo-woo, but I love science, and I really teach from a base of science, and that's what makes my heart just be like, whoa, when sort of the science meets all the more esoteric information. And that's what I'm talking about today, and this is sort of what happened to me today. Or well, it happened a couple of weeks ago. It all came together, and I wrote about it this week and give you a practice around it in the Ageless Movement Practices. So here's what happened. I, like a couple of years ago, had the privilege of working with this 90-year-old woman. And when I first met her, I swear she was in her 70s. I thought she was her daughter who had called me to ask me to come work with her mom. But it wasn't. It was her. It was the 90-year-old, and she was in such amazing shape. Her body was fluid. It looked great. I mean, her joints were free. She walked very smoothly. There was no limp or anything, and she could get up and down off the floor. It was so beautiful to watch, and she just amazed me. So I asked her. I said, what's the deal? How are you in such amazing shape at 90 years old? And she said, I'm a walking couch potato. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And exactly what she meant is that she moves and then rests and moves and then rests throughout her day. She doesn't just go on a big bust out, hey, Nancy Turner, glad you're here. She doesn't go bust it out and do these big workouts and tear up her muscles. She just very calmly and smoothly does her morning routine practice, goes for walks, rests, does some more stretching, rests, gets up and moves some more and rests throughout her whole day. And this woman's body was amazing. Hey, hi. So I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And so I started researching and found some very interesting things. So I talk all about it in the blog, but bottom line is that the Cooper Clinic in Dallas did this study with men who drove around 23 hours a week. And because they were sitting for 23 hours a week, their risk for cardiovascular death went up 60 to 80% because they were sitting for 23 hours a week. Think about that. That's not that long. I mean, it's a lot, but it's like half of a work week, right? There's people that sit a whole lot longer than that. They would sit at work, then they go home and sit on the couch. So yeah, wow, if that doesn't wake us up and get us up and moving, what will, right? And then on top of it, there's this woman that did some work with NASA, because when you send astronauts out into space, they lay down or sit a lot, so they didn't want these astronauts to have detrimental effects. So her name is Dr. Joan Veracruz is the last name, and she did these head down best rest studies, whatever, just trying to figure out the best way for astronauts to stay healthy in space. And she found that it wasn't like going out and doing a busted out movement practice for an hour or two, like running or lifting weights or whatever you do, swim for an hour. It was like move and then rest and then move and then rest. So getting up periodically from what she called stagnation. So I was like, wow, this is coming at us from lots of different places. Like, I get it. Move and then rest and then move and then rest. I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. So that's the way for all of us to be optimally healthy. So if anybody has any questions or whatever, please, hey Mia, hey Michelle Gunn, glad you're here. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you guys are all here today with me. Yeah, so I love this because it makes things so much easier, right? So bottom line, we sleep at night. We're stagnant through the night. Then we get up and it's time for our movement practice. It doesn't have to be anything, strenuous. We just move to open our bodies. That's the key. And we breathe and we just start the energy flowing first thing in the morning. And then we go about our day and we might like and commute to work, like in our car. We get out of the car and we do some movement. Then we go in and we might sit at a desk. And it's recommended, this is again from Joan Veracruz, who did the study with the astronauts, that we get up every hour and move. So I'm like, this is brilliant. Like, all we do is take something from our practice, whatever we're working on currently, and we bring it wherever we go. We get out of the car and we do a movement. We get up from our desk and we do a movement. And the really cool thing, and this is just coming from my own research with my clients and with myself, is that if we sort of concentrate on a few things, like I've been really working on squats and then also upper body strength, so keeping my arms strong. And I've been doing it for about the last 2 years, like religiously working on those two areas. And I've gotten so strong. Like, my legs are super strong. Like here we have to hike a lot on lava and climb up over lava, even when I walk on the beach. And before, I could kind of feel like, wow, my legs are getting a little weak. My quads are getting a little weak. Not anymore. Because every time I get, and I do now sit a lot because I write and have this online business, right? So glad, because I know lots of you because of that. So I get up every hour and I'll do squats, or I'm going to show you what I do for my arms today. And I do those two things throughout the day, and I've been doing it for the last couple of years, and it has made such a huge difference in my life. And then I add in other little things too that I'm working on. I just wanted to focus on a couple just so that I didn't overwhelm you. So does anybody have any questions about it? Oh, Mia says, wonderful. Jennifer Faye, I'm totally down with move and rest. LOL, I hate running. Don't do it, right? Yeah. Well, the other really great thing about what my 90-year-old student taught me was that her body had so little scar tissue, like the fascia wasn't ripped and torn. Like, I can feel that when I work on bodies, because she had that lifestyle of rest, move, and she didn't ever bust it out. That was not in her personality. That is not, she wasn't into extreme anything. She had the healthiest body I'd ever felt. And so she didn't have to do a lot of repair of damage. And a lot of us, like, I love this song from Leonard Cohen, I ache in the places I used to play. I can so relate, because I'm like an extreme person. If anybody's been around me, I love to hike, I love to swim, I love to just go for it, right? And I was also very athletic as a young girl. And so I did, track. And track was my favorite thing. I could just stop there. But I did basketball and volleyball and any sport that I could get into, whoop, I was in because I loved it. I loved to move my body. But it was extreme and it ripped and tore. And like gymnastics did so much damage to my body. And now I'm paying for it. So I'm like, let's all get this now and stop pushing ourselves so hard. Stop doing so much damage. And the more that I rest in my body, which again, I would say like I've really just gotten this in the last 2 years. And the more I rest back into my body, I stop pushing it so hard. Like even in all my years in yoga, I like pushed myself to do poses that my body wasn't ready for, and I've got injuries from doing that. And the more that I just let go and don't try to push and don't try to force, my body is actually healing and it feels so much better. Like I am 58 years old and I am more pain-free than I was for sure in my 20s, like for sure, and probably my 30s and 40s. So we can repair the damage if we just sort of settle down in these beings and stop trying to force them into doing something that they're not ready for or being too extreme with them. So yeah, hey Veronica, glad you're here. Yeah, wonderful news for my not athletic 50-year-old self. I know, it's amazing. And the thing is that it's the answer. It's the key. Like when I figured that out, I was like, oh, relaxing back is the key, but not being stagnant. Like we have to get up. Like being just a couch potato won't work. We have to get up off the couch like every hour and move. So typically what I do, like when I watch, like I've been getting into watching Call the Midwife lately. It's so awesome. Check it out if you haven't. And it's got 8 seasons, so it's going to take me forever to get through it. But so they're like an hour segments. So once it's over, I get up, I do something, I move my body. And oftentimes while I'm sitting there, I have a ball and I'm working through something while I'm watching. And yeah, it's awesome. So let's talk about, I wanted to give you today one of the things that I do when I get up and move. And it's a way to keep your arms strong because we all get these like flabby things that start happening as we age, and we don't have to. We can work to oppose that. And the point is not opposing it. The point is keeping my body strong, but without hurting myself. So this is what I'm going to give you. So I'm going to take my computer with me and hopefully you can see. So I'm just going to bring it to, I might have to bring it over here so you guys can see better. I'm going to bring it to my couch because, like if you're at work or something, you can do this on your desk because not all of us work from home, right? Okay, so here's my couch. And I'm going to just take my hands out on my couch and walk my feet so my hips, knees, and ankles line up. Now all I'm going to do is my hands are under my shoulders and my knees are under my hips. Then head and neck loose and free. So if you're following along, just release your head and neck. Find your breath, of course. Inhale through your nose. Out through your mouth, say ha. Ha. Now all I'm going to do is take my elbows together and take them down. And then I'm going to inhale up. Exhale, elbows in and down. Ha. I inhale up. Ha. 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 This is it. Ha. This is what I've been doing. Ha. Ha. And I do as many as I can. I've worked my way up to quite a few. But you might start out just doing 10. Every time you get up, do 10 of these. And over time, you're going to feel what it's doing to your arms. It strengthens them. Make sure you keep your ribs up too. I was just watching myself like, whoop, I got a dip in my lower back. You don't want that. I'm so sway back. That's why I teach that too, because that sway back can hurt your lower back. Anyway, so that's all you do. And you do it every hour. And then as you do that every hour over time, you're going to see these strong arms starting to develop. So it's not like this like thing that, oh, my arms are weak. I got to go bust it out at the gym. I got to go find a trainer. I got to start lifting weights. That is weightlifting. We don't have to be so extreme. We don't have to push ourselves so hard. We don't have to make this so complicated. But we do have to know what to do. So my other suggestion for you is like as you do your movement practices, like as I give them to you, your weekly practice, just choose a couple of those things that we're working on and take them with you into your day. And when you get out of your car, like you can do this on the hood of your car, just put your hands out, put your feet back, and right there in a parking lot. It doesn't matter. So that's the other thing too for me is that I don't care what people think about me. I care about my health. And so I'll bust out a move anywhere I go, on airplanes and in airports, in grocery stores, anywhere, restaurants. If I have to move, I'm going to get up and I'm going to move because I'm ultimately responsible for my health. And if I care more about what people are thinking of me than my own health, then that's a wound inside of me that I have to work on. And I'm way beyond that. Like, I really, really just want to feel good. And as I age, and we're all aging. Like, I know people that are healthier and look better in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s than some 20-year-olds that I meet because they're just so packed in. They're so tight. They haven't worked through things. And they might be like doing that, going out for a run. And over time too, that'll just like, really hurt you. So do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Let's see, Nancy. Same for me. A ballet left with hip and knee issues, of course, and bad feet. Yoga gives me healing. Oh my gosh, ballet. Yeah, I've worked with several ballet dancers, and oh my gosh, the gnarly feet, the knees, the hips. Yeah, but it's never too late. That's the beautiful thing, is it's never too late to get this. Let's see. But I love running, says Michelle Gunn. Okay, that's okay. You can run. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe not push yourself so hard. Maybe stop in the middle of your run and take a little rest, do a little stretching. Be a little easier on yourself. Maybe you are easy on yourself. Maybe you're just running in a way that really works for you. I'm not saying you can't run. I swim. I'm not saying don't swim. Oh, believe me, I'm going to be in that water today. But I used to swim like, because that was my personality. I don't do that anymore. I'm like slowed it down. And I'm really like enjoying it a whole lot more that way. And so just slowing down what we're doing, don't bash ourselves so much, and do a lot of healing, stretching, breathing in between. Yeah. Let's see. Love that show. Yeah. Call the Midwife. Yeah, me too. How long should you move at a shot? It isn't that much. Like, if you are sitting for an hour, get up for like 10 or 15 minutes. And so oftentimes too, because like you might have to be working, and like I work on my computer, I just, instead of sitting to work, I'll pick it up, I'll do some moves, and then I'll put it on my counter over there, and I'll work standing up, and then I'll do some moves, and then I might sit back down again. So, yeah, like 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't really have to be like, I'm going to get up, I'm going to sit for an hour, and then I'm going to work out for an hour. That's not it. 10 or 15 minutes. All right. Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, so it's just all about, just really loving ourselves enough to really slow down enough to listen. Because when I get extreme, I am not listening to my body. I am listening to my mind. And oftentimes it's because I'm wanting something. Like I want my body to look different, so I'm going to go bust it out. Or sometimes when I get in the water, it's because I want to I want to go see that creature. Like I'm chasing after an eagle ray or a moray eel or a shark. I do like some sharks too, but not tigers. I don't look at those. But yeah, so I just I get interested. My mind gets interested in something, and then I forget all about my body, and then I might be like trying to keep up with a fish that's really fast. And you all do it in your own way, like thinking about, I should be different. Or like when I go to gyms, it just horrifies me because there's TVs on and I see people and they're watching TV. And I'm like, whoa, you're not even trying to be in your body, right? So we've got to be here. We've got to come home to here and be in it and move it, rest it, move it, rest it, repeat all day long. And that's what science says we need to do for optimal health. Awesome. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you next week, although I'm speaking next week at the Symposium on Yoga Therapy and Research. Wish me luck. And I'll tell you all about that if I get an opportunity to hop on, and I will let you know the day before. And yeah, thanks so much. Bye.